Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this week for the Scotweek podcast. I am Kelsey Deanne, the director of Scotweek.
And I'm Cindi McIntosh. I'm president of Scotweek. We're excited to have you join us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And before I introduce our guest for today, we just wanted to thank our sponsor today, which is Craft. They're a not-for-profit social enterprise and a registered charity based in Aberdeen, Scotland, that makes bespoke mattresses from all natural ingredients or materials. And they were established in 1843, and they are a holder of a royal warrant from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. And they're amazing because 70% of their staff are disadvantaged physicalities. So either they're blind or have some sort of other handicaps. And so they provide them employment opportunities that they may not have otherwise. So we really want to thank Craft, and we are so pleased to support them. So without further ado, GrantO'Rourke, how are you?
I'm good, yeah. How are you?
We're so excited to have you today. You were one of my most favorite actors, and
bless you.
It's gracious of you to come on here.
Well, no, it's a pleasure. Yeah, no, I've been excited about it all day.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
So I'm GrantO'Rourke. I play Rupert Mackenzie in Outlander, and honestly, that's probably where everyone knows me from. I do loads of other stuff as well, but I'm just I'm a terrible self-publicist, so I'm never really likely to promote any other aspect of myself unless someone rams it into my lap and sort of lays it up for me. I have to, I'm an actor. That's the long-winded, dull answer. Sorry.
Well, let's go ahead and ram it into your lap this way.
Yeah.
I'm really quite impressed with your stage, everything you've done on stage and with Shakespeare. And actually, you were meant to come and be part of our Scotweek and our production of that. So we're very excited about this.
I know. I was really excited about that. It was a shame that COVID happened and sort of put that on the back burner, but it sounds like an interesting event, and obviously, like it's because Scottish theatre is so small, such a small world. The director of the play A Joke that Robert Picardo and Sylvester McCoy did, who are doing the reading, also I've worked with him like 5 or 6 times. He's kind of a friend, so. And also one of my best mates has also worked with Sylvester McCoy in a couple of theatre things in Scotland too, so it's like everybody's connected in that way. It's a real kind of Kevin Bacon sitch.
Oh, it's great. We adore Sylvester, and that's how I met him, was at the Edinburgh Fringe Fest A Joke. He was just so lovely and such a bubbly, bouncy, funny, warm, wonderful man. So
did he play the spoons for you?
Yeah, he did. He played the spoons on me too.
On my knee. He played spoons on my knee.
Yeah, I gather he always tries to find an opportunity to play spoons on stage. But fair play, if you've got a skill, you got to shoehorn it in there, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So I just want to back up. So where were you born in Scotland, and what was it like growing up there?
I was born in Galashiels, which is about 30 miles south of Edinburgh in the Scottish borders. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, it's like a small-ish town, about 15,000 people, but it's in a valley, so it's kind of countryside, and everyone plays rugby down there. And I don't know, yeah, it's kind of it's probably a lot like everyone else, really. Our childhoods are all kind of pretty similar, I think. In the 80s, we just sort of got kicked out in the morning, and then told to come home when it was time for dinner. But yeah, it was fine. It's a strange place. I haven't really been back to Galashiels much since I left when I was 18. So I sort of consider Edinburgh as my home now. But yeah, it was all right. It was strange.
It's very happy right now at this moment. Like, you're in Scotland, correct?
Yeah, I live in Edinburgh. Yeah.
Very nice. And
it's lovely. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's the little time delay on Zoom. Sometimes we talk over.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's all right.
So you're in Edinburgh, Kelsey's in Texas, and I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we've got, how very wonderful. So how is the weather there right now?
It's kind of, It's fine. It's April, May, so that's our first summer in Scotland. We'll be getting another summer in September, hopefully. So the weather's kind of nice, but there's a horrifically imposing looking storm cloud coming from over that way, which I'm really excited about. It's going to rain pretty heavy in the next hour, I think. So that should be fun. But yeah, it's Scottish weather, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's the weather like in LA? Is it like super hot?
Right now it is, and I'm so blessed and fortunate. I get to come to Scotland each and every year. So I spend July, August, sometimes into September over there, and I just. Yeah. But yeah, it's very much, and even during that period of time, it's very much like our winter time here in LA. So, for instance, it's like it'll be 90 degrees today.
Yeah, my friend and his wife, my friends have moved over to LA. I think they live in Hollywood, and it sounds horrific weather-wise. It sounds like it's a nightmare. He came over to visit over Christmas, and he was wearing like 4 layers. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you've so changed. It's changed you.
Your thermostat changes, I feel like, when you're around this heat all the time. And so, and I know some of my friends and family in Scotland, they determine, good, nice days in Scotland are kind of registered as barbecue days. Have you heard of that? So they'll say, oh, we've had 2 barbecue days already this year.
Yeah.
We have about 360 barbecue days in Los Angeles. So.
I know, but isn't it? It's like Bill Hicks said. It's for lizards. You're not cold-blooded. You're not reptiles. I would find it so hard to adjust to. I like weather. I like weather that gets all in about you, all in your folds.
I agree. I miss it very much. I have a question for you. Hopefully, okay. I'm here. So you want to tell us about Boogaloo Chimp recordings?
Oh, you mean my album?
Yes.
Well, it's an album that I just wrote and recorded at home over the last 2 years. Because about 2 years ago, I just made the decision to stop drinking because I'd been doing it since I was a child, and I just felt like I'd had enough. I was finally full, so I stopped. I just decided to stop, and I had all this creative energy about me, and I've always sort of played the guitar and things like that. Been in bands when I was younger, and I just thought, I'm just going to try writing an album for fun. And it wasn't until I was about 3 or 4 songs in, and I just thought, yeah, I'm going to complete it. I'll finish it. So it's just everything that I'd written at that point just thrown together on an album. And I decided to release it. And when you're releasing it online through these sort of companies, you have to put a recording studio. So Boogaloo Chimp Recordings, I think, was the first thing that came to mind. Because Boogaloo Shrimp was the name of a band I was in high school. And it was based, we got the name from the episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Will and Carlton go to Vegas and they have to enter a dance contest to get enough money to go home. So they call themselves Will the Thrill and the Boogaloo Shrimp. And we decided that we liked that name. And then I just took Boogaloo Chimp as a kind of extension of that. So yeah, I don't have a recording company, like a music company. I just released an album. My next album's definitely going to be better though. So to anyone who's actually listened to the first album, the next one will be better. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was hoping that you would give us a link or something that we could post here so people can listen to it.
It's on Spotify and available to download on Amazon and iTunes. It's called Inexpensively Put Together. And it's now officially the highest selling GrantO'Rourke album of all time. So
well
you
done.
might want to get on that. Yeah, it's exciting times. But
we'll definitely put a link down there for people to go listen to you because I think it's fantastic.
Sorry, you broke up there.
Oh, I think it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Well, that's great. That's half the battle.
That is half the battle. Yeah. But how did you get into music? Because I know you went to the Royal Conservatory in Scotland.
It was the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama when I went there. But it's good. When I was 10, we didn't have the internet in those days, and I didn't have a PlayStation or anything, so I wanted to play guitar to fill my time. So I've just always kind of noodled, but I've never really been that into playing live in front of people. I'm not the kind of guy maybe I was when I was a teenager, but I'm not necessarily the kind of guy who will pick up a guitar and needs to sing a song to everybody at a party. I just do it because I like doing it. And yeah, the music, yeah, making the music is more, because it's such a private act. You can just do it entirely at home and then just give it away to somebody, or just put it out there. So it's yeah, I kind of enjoy playing live. I did a play called What Girls Are Made Of a few years ago at the festival, written by Cora Bissett, where we were in the band. It was a story of her life and how she'd been in a band that had been signed and went on tour with Radiohead and bands like that in the 90s, and we were playing the band. So it was fun that summer to kind of be in a band at the festival and get everybody on their feet and stuff. But it's not. I don't live for the idea of standing in front of a crowd of people with a guitar and singing to them. I don't particularly enjoy that. I don't think. Gotcha. I don't know why. It's a weird thing.
You know, no, there's so many artists that have that stage fright. Like Barbra Streisand, she has horrible stage fright, and it takes her so much energy to get the courage to just walk out on a stage. So she's more inclined to be kind of that recording artist. There's definitely those people that love to be in the limelight singing, and those that are more.
Well, that's the weird thing. If I have to do it in a play, I really enjoy it, you know, and I kind of. I've been asked to play guitar in loads of things, and sometimes it's a pain. You know, you're worried about just getting the fingering wrong. But sometimes when you're just getting into it and then you just start belting out the top notes, it is fun. But I feel like that's more the character that's doing that. It's not necessarily me. I don't want to be. I take no pleasure from the idea of being like, my name's GrantO'Rourke, and this is my song. It's called Ordinary. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anybody wants to see that. Or maybe it's just a ploy to build up enough demand, and I'll just do one really big gig and make all the money from that. I'll have to build it up for a long time, though, judging by the numbers of downloads. Yeah, but the next album will be so much better.
And I'm the exact opposite that way. I mean, I perform on big stages with my pipe, so I'm so happy to do that. I'm very happy to do that, but please don't ask me to speak in front of all those people.
It's weird though as well. It's weird how you kind of you put different roles in your head, because it's like the bagpipes for you, I imagine, are a very powerful thing to have. It's like your shield.
Yeah.
I imagine.
It's like, you know, if I ever feel like I'm not getting enough attention, I just whip those things out and I have everybody's attention.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You whip it out. You got everybody's attention. That's like your spirit animal. That's your power falcon. So it's like the characters for me are like my power falcon, I guess. I can sort of, there's an element of kind of hiding behind them, but it sort of makes you feel powerful. I think the idea of me standing up and, oh God, noodling on a guitar as me, it's just, that's just you. And I think that's not this, I don't know if that's the side of me that I want to show people, I guess. I don't know.
Well, maybe we can convince you to go into character of some sort and play for us for Scotweek.
Well, maybe, yeah, but also I am, no, probably not.
I tried.
No, it was a noble try. I was going to try and think of something clever to say, but no, I'm just not going to. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. We'll settle for your
You be Robert Plant. You could be Robert Plant for.
Oh, I see.
So tell us about Crying with Laughter.
The film.
Yeah.
Oh, Crying with Laughter was that was a blast from the past. That's a film. The director of that is actually from Galashiels, the town that I grew up in. I didn't know him, but I remember we were sitting on set doing that film, and there was a TV playing in the background, and he was talking to all of the actors about something. And the news just mentioned the town Galashiels, and like Galashiels never gets mentioned on the news, and the two of us just completely stopped. We were the only ones that heard it as soon as it was mentioned. But yeah, it was a great film. We improvised it a lot. It was a story that they'd come up with, and I'd worked previously with Justin on a TV show called High Times. So yeah, he was very influenced by Robert Altman. I think he wanted that kind of improvised background to the film, and it still maintained that improvised quality all the way through. But yeah, it was about a stand-up comedian, and I played the guy who ran the comedy club that the stand-up comedian appeared at a lot. So it was fun. We got to do a lot of improvised stand-up in front of a crowd of extras, which you would think is terrifying, but is actually amazing because they're paid. You have to laugh at this, or this scene will be terrible. So you stand there on stage thinking, I'm a pretty good stand-up. These guys are enjoying this. But yeah, they were all just better actors.
And what was it like? Because, you know, being an actor in Los Angeles, we have these ideas of, oh, it'd be so cool to act in Scotland or the UK. So tell us about the different experiences of what it's like to film in Scotland on, say, that film, or on Outlander versus some of the other productions that you've done.
Well, I don't know how I could compare it to how things are done in LA. I mean, I do remember on the first day of shooting of Outlander, the day was about 15, 16 hours long, which I believe is kind of a regular shooting time in America. But this was like, I don't know, I guess in LA, somebody said in LA you can shoot long days. But I remember thinking at the time we had like 12 months of this ahead of us. The first season took 12 months to film. So
oh my gosh.
I think there was a part of some of us who were like, this won't do. We can't do this all the time. I think in general, I spoke to a theatre director from England about what the difference is between like Scottish theatre and English theatre even. And she said that Scottish theatre is much more, it's expected to be much more democratic. Everybody's voice is expected to be heard. And, you know, we are quite abrasive, I guess. And well, to some people, I think we might come across as quite abrasive or maybe quite blunt. But ultimately, it's vocal. Everybody's pitching in. Everybody expects to be heard, and we're sort of all. A director is more of a first among equals rather than the autocrat or dictator that you might get in other environments. Yeah. But generally speaking, it's lovely. It's a kind of, there's always, everything I've ever done, there's always been great camaraderie on it and good spirits, I would say. So yeah, it's a laugh. Everybody likes having a laugh.
Of course. I encourage people to watch it. It's great.
It's what, the film?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's a while since I've seen it. It is a good film. I had some bad hair in that film though. That was my hair. That was
And so I think the last time I talked to you, you were planning on doing, is it As You Like It?
No, I just finished doing The Importance of Being Earnest up in Perth. I was playing Algernon in the Oscar Wilde play, The Importance of Being Earnest. But it got shut early because of COVID. So we got a weekend basically in front of audiences. I know it was a shame because it was I really enjoyed doing the show, and I think we were really starting to gel with the audiences and figure out the rhythm of it and the music and where the laughs were. And yeah, it's dead. That's it. It's gone. It's over now. So never get a chance to go back to that. But it was interesting to have a shot, even if it was briefly.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you get to go on stage, it's always such a great experience, and so lucky. And there's always something magical that happens. Yeah. So what's next for you? Do you have any plans in the work?
No, nothing. That's it. Theatre's closed in Scotland. Yeah. And I mean, I'm still auditioning for things that are tentatively being filmed. I think one production they were hoping to film in June, which I don't think is going to happen. But everything's sort of moving forward so tentatively, it's hard to know what the future is. So for the first time ever in my career, I have absolutely nothing coming up for the foreseeable future. So it's actually quite nice just to chill with my family, just take the time to reflect, and sometimes just stare out of a window at 4 a.m, not knowing what I'm looking at, just standing motionless.
Well, you're hugely talented, and I don't know if a lot of people understand the range of your talents. Not only are you a musician and a songwriter, you trained at the Royal Conservatory in Scotland. You have awards for your stage acting, and I feel like we just need to get you out there and put you out there for the world to see a little bit more of GrantO'Rourke's very wide range of talent.
Well, thank you. That's nice of you to say, if a little hyperbolic, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting back on stage. I absolutely am. Unfortunately, the way that the finances in Scottish theatre are very precarious at the best of times. So there's a lot of theatres in Scotland are going to take a big hit from the amount of business, amount of income that they're going to lose as a result of all these closures. So it is curious, it is interesting to see where we're going to go forward. I think there's a community up here that really desperately, earnestly wants to just get everything back to the way it was, hopefully, and we'll be working towards that end, but we're not sure how the future is going to be for us. And I've always kind of foregone doing other stuff. Like, I like working in Scotland and I love doing theatre, and it's why I tend to do them most. So I might have to just accept that I'm going to have to explore other avenues, I think. By which I mean just, you know, looking further afield. Graham McTavish gave me a row on Outlander because he's like, you can't just constantly work in Scotland. You can't just work in the town that you live all the time. You're an actor. And I was like, well, we'll see. So it's so far so good, but yeah, I might have to start broadening my horizons a little bit. I don't know.
Can you share with us any of those inklings of what you want to go into, or are you still kind of?
No, I just mean I might have to look into working in different places. You know, I might have to explore further afield, I guess. I like being close to home, and I like being close to my family and being, you know, working from home. But I don't know if I'll have that luxury in the future. So but as I say, I don't know what the future holds. So it's interesting and exciting and terrifying.
Well, you have friends in LA now, so.
Yeah, there's always that. Yeah, I had the opportunity to go out to LA, but it's never appealed to me at all. I think the industry's so different there.
Yeah.
And also, so everybody, like, I'd just be really worried that everybody's super insincere, and I don't handle that well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, because like I can see that on your face, Kelsey. You're like, yeah, everyone's super insincere.
We're both originally from Texas, and so we're transplants. I've been here in the greater Los Angeles area for 30 years now, you know, and performing and doing my thing. And I understand what you're saying. I really, really do. There's about 10 million people here in Los Angeles County, and that's twice as many people as in the whole of Scotland itself. You know, and a lot of people are trying to get into the entertainment business and industry. And so, you know, there's that. But I understand what you're saying 100%. I
mean, it does seem like even having ends to the industry like I do at this moment, it still seems like a gargantuan task. But I think it's more just that I've never really been that interested in the business side of it at all. I just like doing the work, and I've never really been interested in the networking because I'm not very good at it. And I'm not though. And like even interviews in general, like especially when you start doing Outlander, they'd ask you to do these EPK interviews, they're called, where they sit you down in costume and talk to you about the show. You know, the ones where for the first season, everyone was saying it's almost like Scotland is another character in the show. It's like that, yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. Like we were doing that. I never knew how to answer our questions at all, because she was like, and what's it like filming in Scotland? You know, I'd be like, it's just the same as filming anywhere else, I imagined, except it's in Scotland. She was like, she wasn't like, I wasn't biting at all. And she'd be like, would you say that Scotland is like another character in the show? I'm like, no, Scotland's a location. It's not a character. Characters influence action. The location doesn't. This could take place literally anywhere. So it's like, I don't think that my personality would gel with the LA mode of operating. You know, I don't care enough about that side of it to sort of profit from it, I think.
But at the same time, I had to really learn how to network, because I did not like talking about myself or promoting myself. And there's this big joke about people from Britain that come to LA. Whenever you give a British person a compliment, they always brush it up like, oh, no worries. Whereas in LA and Americans were like, oh, thank you very much, I appreciate it. So it's like the Brits have to learn how to gracefully accept compliments. Otherwise, they're going to come off as like,
well, see, I would say I take that one step further. Because of the place that I grew up, we're very suspicious people. So if someone pays me a compliment, my first instinct is to be like, what's your angle? What do you want? What are you, you know? Why are they saying that? And I can't kind of process that level. Like, networking isn't a skill that I want to learn necessarily. I find it. I think it would be easier for me in the long run to just get to know people as close to me as possible, so I don't have to pretend to be someone else the whole time when I'm working.
Well, that's what I learned, is that in LA, because there are these people that have an agenda and they just want to talk to you because they want to get to you for some reason or other. They want to go up the chain in Hollywood, whatever that means. But I found that if you just come across as genuine and be like, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing, and this is who I am, then people really gravitate towards that what is the word? Genuineness?
Genuinity. Genuineness.
Genuineness.
5 times fast.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't think you have to learn how to network. You just be you, and I think people really shine to that.
I think if I went over there and just was myself, I think after a couple of years, I just get kicked out, and I'd just be like, what did I just spend all that money on? So, but it's not necessarily something that I would, never ever do. It's more just, I think, baby steps maybe, or something. I don't know. I'd have to find. Yeah, I always think, like, there was an actor told me, people are always talking about wanting to see actors out of their comfort zones. And he said, I want to see an actor in their comfort zone. I want to see them do the thing that they're best at. So, and I think, like, taking that advice from him, I've always felt like it's important to just make your comfort zone as big as possible so you can do as many different things as possible. And so I just have to find a way for it to be in my comfort zone somehow. But yeah, I mean, I would never say never. I just haven't, because I live in Edinburgh. It's amazing here.
It is amazing. It's stunningly beautiful. I love going. I also love coming back, but I love going every year at least once, and I love running around that city on foot. That's the most spectacular thing.
Well, it's quite a small city as well, so you can get everywhere on foot. It's like 4 miles across, I think, the whole city. Yeah, you could fit like 4 Edinburghs in Manhattan, I think.
You probably could. But if you ever did decide to come to LA, I'm sure you would be loved and adored. You would be. And people would greatly appreciate you. And then there's a Scottish accent as well. So, there's a couple of things. When my brothers were single, they would ask me, how do I meet girls? Well, you know what? Put on your kilt, get the smallest dog you can find, carry it around wearing your kilt, and speak in a Scottish accent. You're not going to have any problems.
A small dog? Why a small dog?
Well, it's just I guess any size dog, but a teeny tiny dog. You're going to have every woman of every age, every walk of life
dogs
flock to you.
Yeah, women love dogs.
It's an instant. All of the girls want to talk to you right now. You'll be mobbed. And then,
well, yeah, I mean, if he's carrying a little puppy around, I would want to talk to him, I would imagine. So.
And then a kilt in a Scottish accent, and you are good to go.
It's a lot of cachet that we have at the moment for the accent. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it'll be. I was so looking forward to Scotweek for that reason as well. It'd be nice. It's nice to go to these things to have for the events, or when I've been over to visit for conventions and things. It's been nice to sort of have it in small doses in a kind of positive, welcoming atmosphere, I think. So it's I like the idea of just up in sticks and moving somewhere is not appealing, but I like the idea of visiting.
You'll still join us, right? I mean, we still fully intend on having you come and be part of this.
I mean, absolutely. It's something that I'm very interested and keen in doing. Yeah, totally. Obviously, I will be following the guidelines of the government, whatever's happening at the time. But yeah, if it's okay to come across, I'll definitely be coming across. Absolutely. I don't want to pass up the opportunity to be in, even if it's just a reading with Robert Picardo and Sylvester McCoy. And not just them, obviously, but yeah, they're a big draw for me.
Oh, that's great.
My wife's a huge Doctor Who fan, so and I'm a bit of a Star Trek fan, so that would be exciting.
Oh, wonderful. It's going to be amazing to see that, and I'll play one of the witches, which I'm really excited about. So I'm so excited to have you on board or we are very excited to have you on board for that.
It'll be exciting to see how American theatre rehearsal room works as well, even if it's just for a rehearsed reading. I'd be very interested to see that.
Yeah, well, it's I think you're going to find it a little bit closer to home because our director is Louis Fantasia, who he started out in France doing Brecht plays, and then he went over to London. He was the first American to direct the Shakespeare Globe and helped Sam Wanamaker build the Globe in London. So, and he teaches over in London all the time and directs. So I think it'll be interesting because he is American, but you'll find a little global flavor of his style.
Yeah, no, he's been in touch a few times since, but it's, he's got some. No, I'm excited in general. Yeah, definitely, I do want to do it. Sorry, I got distracted by something because I have like a bed sheet on my window to diffuse the light, but then the light's going down, and now I have this light that's just shining in my face and making me look like a predator. So I'm still here. I'm just changing the light.
Yeah, it's not
I'll edit this bit out. It'll be fine.
That's great. No, that's better. That's nice.
I need a bed sheet on my window.
Well, that's it though. It's these are all like the tips and tricks that you pick up from doing self-tapes in your house.
Yeah. That's very good to know. And I don't know if our viewers know, but we just had a Zoom board meeting for Scotweek, and we went ahead and voted to go ahead and further postpone Scotweek. Now, from instead of September and into early October, we're going to go right into our normal, what will become our normal time frame, which is April. So we're always meant to flow right after Tartan Week NYC for Tartan Day over to the West Coast and kind of flow right after that program and have our own. And so we have decided to go ahead and further postpone just into April of 2021. So we'll be around about April 16th through the 23rd of next year. And
that's great.
Shakespeare's birthday, so there you go.
No, that's fantastic. That's really good news as well, because I was I was slightly concerned that September we're gambling a little bit. So the fact that it'll be April, I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely be able to do that. That's great. Hooray!
I know. Well, it's there's a lot of challenges, and when this whole virus thing first hit and we knew we had to postpone a little bit, we scrambled to find dates where we could reconfirm everyone, and we didn't know at that time exactly what all of this was going to mean and what it was going to do. And then we also weren't thinking about, okay, so if we have our first Scotweek now in end of September, we're going to turn right around and do it again next April. So we had a lot of considerations to make. I think we've made the right decision and the right choice. We would have liked to have had it be in 2020, the 700th year anniversary of the Declaration of Arbroath. But
who knows what that is? You know what I mean?
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
So we thank you so much for being willing to come and do that.
No, it's absolutely my pleasure, and obviously I will expect people to be there for me to meet when I get there. I would like to meet Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap. That would be great if you could arrange that.
Yep.
That would be, if Steve Gutenberg's kicking about, he was a big part of my life in the 80s, so it would be nice to talk to him and thank him for that.
I did a film with Steve Gutenberg.
Did you? Was he lovely?
He was very lovely.
I bet he was. He always seems like a really nice guy in his films. He was so huge in the 80s as well. Like, he had a run of like the Police Academy films, Cocoon, Short Circuit, Three Men and a Baby. I mean, you can't buy that kind of like that kind of just hit after hit after hit. What guy? And also he was ripped. But you never realized how ripped he was just from, you know what I mean? He did look like a buff guy. I always admired that about Steve Gutenberg.
And nice hair.
Ripped over here can mean a couple different things, so I'm glad that you clarified.
Well, what else does ripped mean?
Very, very, very drunk.
Oh, right, okay. No, he never seemed drunk. He always seemed like, no, he was a big part of my childhood. So get working on getting Scott Bakula and Steve Gutenberg along. That'd be great. And obviously, Harry Hamlin can maybe bring in Corbin Bernsen. It'd be nice to see him, because obviously I didn't see Ellie Law very much, but I have seen Chuck when he plays the dad. So, no, not Chuck, Psych. Chuck is a different show. Yeah, he's in Psych. So we'll get started on that list, and we'll be in touch over the year until we have like a cornucopia of celebrities from my childhood. I would like to meet.
Thank you so much for all of your time today. And, you know, and also again, thank you for that fantastic video you sent for our live tartan day. That was spectacular. We just appreciate all of your support for Scotweek and giving us your time. And we're so excited to have you come. And I don't know if you have any last words, Kelsey or Grant, anything you'd like to leave with us with?
Well, first of all, an apology. I'm so sorry about the quality of the content that I provided. I had no idea that it was going to be this short. So if I'd known that, I would have not rambled and stuttered so much and would have tried to make some coherent points.
There you go, again, being British and apologetic. No, it was brilliant.
Yeah, well, I'm dreadfully sorry.
We will not accept an apology because it was absolutely fantastic and we greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
well, let's do it again sometime and I'll tell actually make interesting points.
It was hysterical. It was really fun. So it was perfect. You were perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Grant, very much. And we will hope to see you, if not when Cindi and I over this summer in Scotland, then we will see you in April for Scotweek.
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to it.
Wonderful. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.